Peg me, daddy. One man saying that is fine. If that's your opinion and you're not in it, that's fine. But there is an entire market of millions and millions of people that agree that it is a store of value. So, you can think one thing, but there's also a market, and markets tend to become efficient over time.
We do know that you will always get paid in Hex on a daily basis. And that is truly the miracle that we call Hex, because it is trustless interest, trustless yield. Nothing will stop that contract from running.
Welcome in, everybody, to the Creed of Crypto. My name is Broke Boy Crypto. I have here with me, as always, my friend and co-host Crypto Ewok. Welcome in to everybody in the chat. We got Fubar, beautiful name. Welcome into you. Hex Girl High from Florida. Welcome into you. Philly, we know where he's from. Go Phils and Eagles and Sixers, I guess, and Flyers. The Rat, always one of my favorites. DJ and Moon Boy, checks my pulse. Valiant Low Key, Chaztown. This is great. We got the chat pouring right in this week. Everybody's here and ready to go. We have a very interesting day today. Of course, the Fed doing what everybody expected and cutting interest rates by 25 basis points, which is good to see. There was that outside chance that maybe, just maybe, they could do 50. That did not end up happening. I didn't really feel that it would, but either way, a nice little trajectory that we may be on now. We've got a lot to talk about with some of the PulseChain and marketing that is happening right now. Not just that these things are being sent out, but some of the awesome reactions to it, particularly from Gabriel Haynes, which is an account I've followed now for a few years, and I think he's hilarious, and some really interesting stuff with him to get to. And a lot more regarding PulseChain and crypto as a whole. Yeah, we'll talk about the hex ratios, to Philly's point, all kinds of stuff. Shout out Fryman. Hi from Denmark. Hi to you as well. And Ewok, how are you on this fine Wednesday evening?
I'm doing wonderful. Everywhere I look, I told you it's been crazy at work, busy. I haven't been on X much at all, which is kind of a good thing, a blessing in disguise, whatever. But everything I see just is bullish. And, when you're not on that much, it's nice to see the bullishness and not the negativity. So everywhere I'm looking is bullish. I don't know about everybody else and what you are seeing, but I said to you a little bit ago in text, I said anybody that's selling right now deserves the pain that they're about to feel, because I can just, you can just feel it. So I know we've been saying that for a while, but it's really, I think we're just so close.
I think so too. And I know that it is still tough for people because, look, I mean, hey, it's still September 17th. We still have seen an Ethereum all-time high for what, a 2-hour period a couple of Sundays ago. So I get it. I understand still being frustrated at this point, and I think it's been prudent to try to find other things to occupy yourself with. Obviously, some of the events nationally over the last week have occupied a lot of people's brains for good or bad or ugly, really. I don't know. It's been a rough go of it on that front. But, we hope that all of you guys and your own, as they say, little 5-foot worlds are doing well out there, and tending to what's right in front of you in your life. And, I hope you're happy. So, yeah, we got a lot to cover tonight. I guess we can go ahead and get right to Bitcoin and Ethereum. So, of course, a little bit of volatility today, and I do say a little bit. It hasn't been anything insane. In regards to the price action after the announcement of the FOMC today. So we had Bitcoin and ETH both go up a little, both go down a little bit. And we got Bitcoin right now right about 115K. We've got Ethereum. Let me get to where it was they're both actually Ethereum starting to print a green candle here a little bit. It did.
Yep.
Both of them went down a little bit today on the news, which we have been saying that it would be possibly a sell the news event, but that's only the hours after the fact, and we're still only 4 hours after the fact. I have been vehemently wrong, completely incorrect with my prediction that we would see ETH into the 55 to 6K range. I think we both were kind of talking about that a little bit going into the rate cuts. That didn't even remotely happen. Surprise, surprise. And, we can kind of forecast what the next 2 weeks of September will be before we get into the final quarter of Q4. And I don't think anybody's, thinks that we're where we thought we'd be at this point. But a little bit of volatility. Bitcoin has really been actually charging leading into these cuts and looking pretty good still right now. 116 actually we're at, and ETH just under 4,600 in charging right now at 4,570. So what do you make of what happened with Jerome Powell today? We saw some big outlets forecast. Actually, I think it was Goldman Sachs saying that they believe the 3 FOMC meetings we've got left, including today, we'd see a 25-point cut in each of them to finish 2025, and then 2 more in the first couple meetings in 2026. So far they are 1 for 1. What do you make of what happened today? What Powell said, and I guess what we can see. We'll go first, just the rest of the month of September here, Ewok. Like, what do you think? I know you've talked about cooling off in the past after this, but what do you think?
Well, as we had discussed, a 25-point reduction, which I thought, was quite possible. I said a 50-point would be very bullish. I did say that. But, as things kind of led into it, people were trying to beat or foreshadow or front run the news, and that 25 points was baked in. So at this point, I think we'll see some more sideways. Obviously, we can't just keep going sideways. Something is about to happen. Ethereum does, when you look at that chart, it really does look a lot more bullish. I had said that it was quite possible that we would come down very close, if not touch this 50 EMA or SMA. This is the SMA, but it tried. It wanted to, but it got rejected pretty quickly right here on this candle when it tried to come down, and they said nope, slapped it right, and it went right back up. So these are the daily candles, and early this morning it fell, and then it kind of changed position on the news. So I think that's wonderful. I do think this is about to pull away from this. I could see a little bit more chopping, maybe even, another 2 weeks until the end of the month. And I really think it's go time. I don't think it's going to be delayed too much longer. Again, if they're predicting the 25-point reduction in the next 2 meetings, you're going to see people again front running that, which could actually cause a little bit of retail entry. I think that's when we start to see the retail coming in. Again, I think Ethereum looks a lot more bullish than Bitcoin. This one's kind of just I don't know. It looks like it's just about to roll over almost when I look at this one. Now, when we look at the ratio, and that's always, something that we like to take a look at. This did, I told you at some point this has to do something, and it was due to move. Actually, this was down here, I believe. Mm-hmm. And it did. It busted out of it, but now if we draw that trend line, it's coming back down again. So it's just very strange. I think if we continue this trend line even on here, it dipped below it, which was kind of scary for the people that were watching this ratio. but it has now gotten back above it, which is a good thing to see. So that strength tells me that there is something there. Came down, touched the resistance line or the trend line anyway, and bounced pretty quickly and pretty hard. So I think this is very bullish in my opinion. Again, Ethereum looks much better or set up than the Bitcoin chart. To me, this is almost looking like it's it is staying above this 50, but barely. It's struggling to get above it. So yeah, that's just what I'm seeing. I'm seeing Ethereum looking like it's going to be definitely stronger than Bitcoin coming in the next several weeks or month or two anyway.
Yeah, I think that after, again, this news today and the fact that it's probably mostly priced in, I think we probably just see some stagnation for the rest of September. I think maybe we just hang out here. I mean, it's definitely not been this big, horrible month that anybody has predicted. I mean, we've seen both of them hold up very, very well in the face of like really bad jobs numbers a couple of weeks ago, which, helped, get us to this rate cut point. So, I think it's ultimately looked very well, and kind of our weekly conversation. Somebody in the chat mentioned it a moment ago, but I mean, what do you think about for the rest of the cycle then? Because October is the beginning of Q4. There's always been predictions of October, November, December being the big final months. 2017, as we've discussed many times on here, is what this cycle has kind of looked a little bit more like. We saw Bitcoin, of course, rocket up to 20K in 2017 in December, and then Ethereum did not top out until the next year. Usually the first year of the bear market, 2018 in January, is when Ethereum topped out. So do we run into 2026? I know we talk about it every week, but as we move on here, what do you think?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's going to be early 2026, I believe, if things play out the way they should. I think we'll be finding ourselves in January or February, maybe, at the latest. If the delayed sending out of all these gadgets and things that people are receiving continues, could go longer. But I mean, I feel like right now, this first initial push of those is just hitting some bigger name people. And there are more to come. Obviously, we know there's a bunch more that are going to be sent out, but I think the initial first shipment was probably to notable people that can get the word out there. They make a post about it, and guess what? Now 100 and some thousand people have seen it. So one little video or post or whatever and is getting a lot of reaction. So I think it was well planned. Then it kind of goes out more to the I don't want to say mass public, but a broader audience, let's say. So yeah, I think that's going extremely well too. So couldn't be happier.
Yeah, I think so too. And yeah, I'm just happy that Powell did, actually get to where we thought he would go. I don't know if you saw Trump's his Truth Social a little bit ago, but he basically, in Trump fashion, totally called out Powell for this tiny rate cut, and he's way too late, and it should have done it by 200 points and all this stuff. Just his typical kind of negotiating type thing. So
I didn't see it. I didn't even see Powell. I didn't see anything about what he said. So enlighten me and give me your take on what was his tone. I mean, was it hawkish or
no? No, I would say that it was. I would say pretty much in the middle. I mean, you know how he is. He's not really going to like totally show his cards or something like that. But he basically talked about he talked about the economy looking good. I mean, he actually thought things looked good. I don't think he sounded hawkish really at all. It's up to, the interpretation of whoever is watching basically, but I didn't really think one way or the other. I think that we're going to get, I think it's safe to say that the prediction markets for what's going to happen at each one of these are probably going to end up being right for the next 6 months. I mean, I think that we're probably going to get these next 3 cuts, including today and, into next year as well. So, yeah, I didn't really glean anything from that. It's just that, Trump did his maneuver of trying to, push Powell a little bit further after the meeting as well. So
gotcha.
Yeah.
I think Johnny Chaos wants you to switch your PDI into E-Hex.
I don't know what he's talking about here.
I think
for my orphan token. I don't know what he's talking about there. But, hey, I've been buying E-Hex hardcore. I've been buying E-Hex a lot more than PDI, if that's what we're talking about.
Well, let's take a look at that chart while we're looking
at
things, serious? If you don't mind.
I mean, I feel like it's a waste of time, but okay.
The E-Hex chart?
Well, yeah. What we're about to talk about. We're about to get in. I thought you were talking about E-Hex against PDI or something.
No. Just the E-Hex chart. We'll get into PulseChain stuff, but look at
whoa. That's gonna be like the first one we look at. So let's just look at the overall Pulse prices, and then we'll go to the E-Hex chart because that's what I wanted to do. If you actually read the notes that I sent you in preparation for tonight's show,
I told you I'm out of the loop, man. I told you.
Hey, why have a show? You know what I mean?
I just show up and talk.
Exactly. Yeah, no, we can tell. So taking a look at the PulseChain ecosystem right now, though, we have Pulse at 4 zeros and a 4146. We got Hex at 0095. It's been pretty volatile. I saw it over a penny just a few minutes ago, I feel like. PulseX, this will be another interesting one, just absolutely wilting against Pulse. It's down to 4 zeros and a 268. Not actually concerned about that, but we can have that conversation too. We got Inc at $1.47. E-Hex, the star of the show, the one that I thought the market didn't choose, 003 right now. It's been pumping harder than any token in the ecosystem. And then, of course, PDI, looking at that for Johnny, we are at 00386 right now for PDI on a little bit of a pullback. So, what do you think about where we're at in total here? I mean, Pulse has been holding up, I think, rather okay. And then, I would love to look at the E-Hex chart.
Yeah. So first thing that grabs my attention is, and the reason I like this PulseCoin list, they give a fear and greed index here, and they also give an altcoin season index. This has jumped like crazy in the last 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, we were over here somewhere high up on the Bitcoin side. Now we've completely switched sides, and it's at 71 out of 100 for altcoin season. So that's quite interesting to see. Fear and greed is neutral, really neutral. So, just take from that what you will. Let's take a look at you want to look at the Pulse chart first?
If you want. Yeah, we can do it quickly, and then we can go to look at E-Hex. Yeah.
No, I don't want to swap. I want to look at the chart. Here we go. All right. Where are we?
Yeah, Pulse has been holding up pretty well over this 4 zeros and a 4 number and just kind of chilling out in this range. So,
yeah. So I drew some lines, last week of where we kind of wanted to be and to stay above. Well, it did not stay above this level that I thought it would kind of get resistance at. It broke right through it. So again, we kind of want to watch now the next line of resistance down here at the 3644. And hopefully it gets a bounce before that. I could see, this area is another one of support. Well, right about where we're at now. There's, previous levels here of resistance back in May. So it hit this quite often right where we're at. So if we can turn this into support rather than resistance like it was back here, I think we'll do okay. And then we can shoot back up above this. But that's going to be a very critical level of where we're at about right now. I think it's, kind of do or die time to say whether we're going to bounce off of it or continue to go lower. And then if we do go lower, again, hopefully this former level stays as some support. But you got what, five red candles in a row, 5 days in a row of red candles. Something is due to change. And I thought the sellers were getting exhausted. I don't know if this is just big traders that are just playing this until something really happens. But, that's what it's looking like to me. When you get 5 consecutive days, I think it's just traders that are just trying to play the channels. That's kind of what it looks like. So, the volume isn't crazy. Nothing major. I mean, you had some big sells back here in August that were pretty substantial, but these are just, they're pretty minuscule candles, which means there's not much going on. People are kind of holding steady, but the traders looks like they're trying to play that game. So that's what I'm seeing with PulseChain.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think we'll probably see that, volatility and no real huge upside action until, of course, Ethereum gets to where we want it to get to and get over 5K and kind of sustain it. So let's look at that E-Hex chart, because it has definitely been the star of the ecosystem over the last couple weeks. There's been many kind of narratives that people are trying to assign to this move, and some of them I think make sense. I mean, Bank X is basically out of their E-Hex. I mean, they have been slowly selling basically for the entirety of PulseChain's existence out of their E-Hex position.
Right.
And they're either out or virtually out now. I mean, it's at a level that it's not much of a concern anymore. So I'm curious what angle, what you think of that angle, but also, are there forces in the background that really want this to start the run potentially? Just to kind of reset everything. Like, you and I have both been people, Johnny Chaos too, shout out to him in the chat. We've all been people that are like, why would you choose which hex? You're not
Right.
choosing any of them. Like Pokemon,
Right.
own them all. So, yeah, I think that there's very good reason that E-Hex could run, be
Sure.
a catalyst, and there's a reason it still exists. So, yeah, what do you make of
Well,
this?
yeah, I think there's several things. First one that you mentioned, Bank X. I think last I heard they're under 20 million left, which is nothing. It was such a threat that wasn't really a threat for so long. It was talked about. We're guilty of it too. We mentioned it, that it was out there and it was a problem at 800 million. We were hoping they could dump the price and dump it quickly and be done with it, but they've drug it out now for such a long time. The second thing is, if you remember, when everybody decided that they didn't want E-Hex anymore and they traded it all for P-Hex. So there's a lot less holders. I really believe that there are that many less sellers as well, which is also contributing to this. It doesn't weigh near as much. There isn't as much sell pressure. Most of the big whales that were threatening whales are out. And we always say this too. It's much closer to the on-ramp. It doesn't also have a PulseChain tie or affiliation or anything like that. Another thing, almost we're 2-3 months away from having 6 years of data. That's another thing. So I mean, there's all these different contributors to I think what we're seeing. The fact that it's lighter, the fact that no, I don't think Richard tried to kill it in a tweet, but I think he was just stating the obvious, that he thought the market had decided and that people were choosing P-Hex over E-Hex. Well, again, many people got rid of it. So now it's lighter. It's a lot easier to move. And because it's 0.003 and there's only 40 million or something like that, 300, I forget what the total is for sale. Let's take a look while I'm talking, but there aren't many for sale. It's very, very light. It's going to be easy to move. And I think, let's look right here. Should be able to see it. There is 342. Wait, yeah, there's 342 million hex available for sale. Now at 0.003, can you run the calculator on that?
I'm not paying attention, but go ahead.
Okay, 342 million times 0.003. It's not much money. It really isn't. Yeah, so a third of that is $1 million bucks. So that's all it would take to buy up the entire supply on Uniswap. Now you've got about the same amount, 343 million, but that's at a penny. So you got about $3.4 million dollars to buy up this. People don't understand how much this supply is drying up, and just not going to be there and going to be make things so easy to move very, very quickly. We go back to that tweet last week that Richard had said, are they gonna FUD it again? When he was talking about the 10,000x. This setup is going to make it easy to do that. Obviously, when there are major price increases and things like that in the chart, there are going to be sellers. They'll come out of the woodwork to dump it at $1. But again, it can make some pretty fast runs and get some good reactions. So yeah, I'm excited about what I'm seeing. And for E-Hex especially, it's closer to the on and off ramps. Everybody is in Ethereum, right? Not everybody's in PulseChain. So people see this. They see 6 years of data here. They see these moves like we're seeing right now. And in the last week or so, it's up 115%. So that's pretty damn good in this short period of time. So people are going to get drawn attention there. They get drawn into these things and they look back and be like, wow, this thing really ran up the last time. Everybody talks about 98% down. They don't talk about the 10,000x up first. So quite important, I think.
You'll like this post here from Hash. I've only read the beginning. E-Hex is the only proven 10,000x in our ecosystem and very sensitive to crazy moves to the upside. Only requires some crazy whale to take it within realms of pennies, then tens of pennies. Kind of like what you just said.
Yeah. Sounds very similar.
Yeah.
Good comment.
And I am with you, Hex Girl. I love you. You know that I usually agree with you on everything, especially PDI when it comes to us versus Ewok. But I don't think RH at all tried to kill E-Hex in a single tweet. I think that was purely, I mean, he even kind of memed the ecosystem, the Hexakin reaction to it after the fact. Like all he did was say, I mean, I don't know why he made that tweet. I wouldn't have done it myself, but he said, the market is chosen, Hex on PulseChain, blah, blah, blah. And then everybody pretended, not everybody, but like Johnny's friend Furu Finance and people like that, pretended that Richard said, see, E-Hex is dead. Sell all your E-Hex for P-Hex. And that's not what he said. And then Richard started to meme that later and say, like, that's not what I said. I was just saying it appears the market has chosen this so far by looking at the chart. So, no, I don't think he tried to kill it or anything. Just like I won't even get into the other thing, but I don't think he did. And we've been buying it the whole way. I mean, like, and maybe DCAing into it in different ways. Like sometimes if I was buying Hex, I would buy them 50-50. Sometimes I would buy 75-25 in favor of Hex on PulseChain. Just, different things like that. No different than how I've DCA'd into Pulse and PulseX, similarly over the last 2 years. So I'm happy to have been buying E-Hex more aggressively over the last few months and to see this little pump. And this is why. I know there's a lot of people that want to do swing trading out there. And I'm talking, longer term swing trading, like weeks, months at a time. And that's fine. Like if you want to do that and you're looking at ratios and stuff, more power to you if you want to do that. Not everybody wants to do that. It's very easy sometimes to screw that stuff up. And I don't think you can go wrong and probably sleep better at night if you just DCA into all of them equally and stop this BS of choosing something. Like why all in on anything? I just, I don't feel like it's the way to go, but
I agree. And I DCA every day at 7 p.m. I get those free ones from staking. So don't forget, there's always that. If you don't have the money to DCA, you can always stake, earn more of it while it's cheap. Whenever it gets expensive, it'll be quite worth it. So always that option too.
Yeah. And good on Hex Girl. She never sold her E-Hex. That is good. What does Philly say here?
He says, do you guys think the next lows after this fall will be higher than these ones? Higher lows next cycle and these prices gone forever? I mean, typically that's how cycles work. You reach all-time lows and it goes up and doesn't ever come back. There are some levels of Hex that never came back. So we would have to hope that as long as this takes off and gets some traction, that some of these levels that we're seeing now may never come back again. And it really depends on how much it runs, how many people take profits, how badly the chart is hurt, because we know it'll happen. I mean, there's still some major bag holders out there that would love to sell at $1 or $2. I think it can go way further than that, but it's really going to depend on how many people are out, and again, how heavy is the chart. It took many years for Bitcoin to disperse itself enough so that after the third cycle, it didn't fall 99%. It only fell 85% or 80% or whatever it was after several cycles. So the more distributed it becomes, the easier it is to maintain a higher low price. So
Shout out Hash again, another great comment. And I agree with this 1,000,000%, if a percent could be a million. When normies look at this ecosystem and don't have a clue of RH token or coins, which ones do you think they turn to with FUD? Which do they point to make their point? Yeah, they're looking at the Hex, aka E-Hex chart. They all are. Like, we're going to get to the Gabriel Haynes and PulseChain marketing stuff in a minute. That's what he's referring to. Like, Wu Wei is a famous term to kind of just go with what is, and why fight the existence of E-Hex. I just don't understand that. Like, it's, use what God, dance with the one who brung you. God dang it. So yeah, I agree. Any final thoughts on the E-Hex stuff?
No, I mean, I think we've given 6, 7 reasons why we're bullish on it. I mean, that's about all of them. And I'm sure there's more. People can come up with little things like that. This is the chart. When people think of Hex, they're going to Google it and they're going to come up with this one first, not P-Hex. So yeah, just tons of reasons to still be bullish on it. And the people that got out, they're going to FUD it because they don't hold it anymore. So just be very mindful of that when you see people talking about E-Hex badly. It's because they're not holding any anymore, and they decided to go all to one side.
Johnny Chaos, drop in the chat. Let us know if you and Furu are still texting, FaceTiming, buddy on the DL talking about the hexes. I'm curious. You know what? I do want to real quick look at PulseX against Pulse, if you don't mind, because that's another one ratio-wise that people have been talking about lately. PulseX had been up only versus Pulse the entire existence of the chain, basically, until recently. I mentioned last week, Donovan at DIY Investing made a cool video looking at PulseX versus Pulse and seeing it kind of drop out of the range that it had been in. We looked at that last week. Sami made some interesting comments about this ratio this week because again, this is the first time we're seeing PulseX go down against Pulse. So there's been FUD that you haven't seen about PulseX like ever all of a sudden. Like, just people like, I told you that the DEX isn't the main, you know what I mean? So like the minute that it breaks down against Pulse, all this bullshit's going to start coming out, of course.
Yep.
Now, it's okay. Like, if you want, just like I said a little bit ago, if you want that to inform your DCA decision and did DCA in a little bit of a different way or whatever, okay, that's fine. But I don't think that this ratio is going to get crazy enough for anything like the Hex and E-Hex ratio, for example, that doing something one way or another with this chart is a great, definite idea to do. I would absolutely still be buying these equally, and I have. So what do you think, Ewok?
Yeah, totally. Like you said, it is funny to see how people have all of a sudden when this was going up against it, and they're like, well, what do you expect? The buy and burn is just the best thing ever. Well, now that it kind of dropped down against it and it's going the opposite way. Well, see, I told you it wasn't that important. Yeah, I mean, so it's ironic a little bit, but again, there are greater forces at play here than I think we realize, and probably some ratios that are maybe targeted, and you don't want one to really run away from the other one. I don't think. Just my opinion. I don't see nothing bad happen with PulseX. There's no reason for this other than complete speculation or, again, greater forces at play trying to get something somewhere where they want it before something happens. That's kind of what I see taking place. And, again, nothing's broken with it. Nothing's changed. Still the same buy and burn, still the same good decks. I mean, it works great. I haven't had any issues with it. So, yeah, I really think that's what it is. It's the greater forces kind of getting something set up to where they possibly want it.
Yeah. Yeah, I am absolutely DCAing into both equally. And it's interesting because for so long, for most people that have DCA'd into this ecosystem, you've probably seen, if you've DCA'd kind of evenly, your PulseX bags have become the biggest ones. You know what I mean? Especially if you weren't, all in on Hex last cycle and DCAing throughout the existence of PulseChain. PulseX has likely been your biggest bag. And now you're starting to see that and Pulse get a little bit more even right now. So, yeah, it is interesting, and I'm continuing to DCA into all of them equally, and yeah, not going to let this affect my decision at all. So,
absolutely.
Cool. Well, hey, chat, this has been fantastic. You guys are awesome tonight. Hit the like if you are enjoying the stream. We appreciate all of you being here. We have a lot of Hex and PulseChain content creators here too. We've got Crypto7, we've got Johnny Chaos, we've got RH Max, we have Tam, we've got, I think that's pretty much it, but appreciate all. The Duke of Booze, I'm going to count you as a creator. You speculated about doing it, and I've seen your face on video. So yeah, shout out to all you guys. Appreciate all of you being here tonight. We've got to look at this PulseChain marketing stuff, and now we've covered, and I forget her name, but the woman who had received one that posted it a couple of weeks back, Ewok, the first person to really publicly talk about it. Now one has landed in the hands, and if you want to stop, now this is the second video, so let's save that. I don't know how many people are aware of this one yet. There you go. Into the hands of Gabriel Haynes. Now, put in the chat if you guys were already aware of this guy, because I have followed him since the bear market, like sometime in 2022. I love this man. I don't care what he says about Hex in this video or anything. He's hilarious. One of the best follows, I think, on crypto Twitter. And if you check his feed and look at this post and then the one about the tablet that he received, because he did actually receive these in the mail to his address. For some reason, he actually put his, I think, home address out there publicly on this tweet.
He did.
I'm not really all that surprised. Gabriel Haynes, Viper Styles, that's his name. He's posted videos of him and his wife. Like, he's very open, like just with his life and the content creation. He's runs around in bare feet and his t-shirt off in the rain. A lot of just crazy stuff. But he's hilarious. I love his style of humor. He received 2 of these, which is interesting to note. I don't know if it was like him and his wife, maybe they were addressed to. But very cool, good people. And he took to X, like a lot of, like I imagine Richard and some other powers that be may have speculated some of these people would do. And we thought we would see these start to pop up on social media. And lo and behold, here we are. Gabriel, who is, this is the best person to share this so far, for sure, because of the attention that he gets. But if you go to his feed and look at these couple videos, he may be a Hexagon RH Max. Good point. If you look at his videos from today and yesterday, compared to the engagement that he gets on all of his other tweets, I mean, these are blowing everything completely out of the water. Somebody said to him in this video, like, oh, these are probably just bots, or who are all these people replying? And he said bots. He may have originally believed that because he is hip to how most of crypto works, but I think he probably sees now that it's not bots. So you want to go ahead and play this video? This is from yesterday when he announced receiving these.
Yeah. Let me make sure. Shoot, I wasn't expecting to do that. Let me make sure
Okay.
That's okay. No, that's okay. I just need to make sure that the sound is going to the right place.
I just think people should be aware of this guy because he is a good follow. He's funny. He kept people's spirits up in the bear market and stuff like that. Basically lives his life on here.
Zero. You don't.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. All right. Let me rewind this.
I have received a mysterious package to my address here from the Blocklit Foundation. I'd like to see what it is. It's very thin, very light. Is it a dildo? Maybe for a very small man. But let's see.
You know what that means.
What is this? Some Richard Hart PulseChain merch. How about that? So I can draw shit on the go. I heart Richard. Beautiful. Thank you to the Hexicians. This is definitely a scam. Hex is already at 0. You don't need me to tell you that. See you next time, baby.
Okay. I don't know how much he believes of the last two things he says. I mean, it's possible that he's that far out of the loop and believes that. I don't know. But yeah, what do you make of this? And if you want to look at a couple of the top comments, we can too.
Yeah, well, I think at first, he doesn't even know how to say hexagon. He said hexician or something like that.
I think he's purposeful. I think he might. I don't know why he said that, but I think because he does it in the other video too. I don't know.
He does, and I think maybe he just doesn't know how to pronounce it. I honestly think that's the case. But anyway, he did get 2 of them, which was interesting. He doxed himself completely when he showed the envelope. His name and address was it was upside down, but not hard to flip, and take a look at it.
He writes it out to forget that. He actually writes it out. I think in the post he put, if you want to send me anything, and puts his whole address on there.
Well, maybe because he already doxed it. Maybe he was just making a joke. And anyway, either way, no, I think it's fantastic. I think it just the way he said it, and even the "I love Richard," it makes you wonder: is he playing a part? Is he really serious that he thinks Hex is a scam? Maybe he thought that originally, but now with the reaction that he's getting and the there were 2,000 likes, 828 retweets on this, 843 comments. He got some engagement, some nice engagement from it. So people started offering him to buy it, and then comes the other video, which we'll get to. But yeah, I love it. Again, you send it to some people that have some influence and that do post, and this is what you get. You can't spend $6-7. I think I did see the sticker on it was like $7.45 per shipping, but that was because there were 2 of them in that container. So maybe that was higher than normal, but I'm thinking 5, and they cost $2 maybe. So $7 on average. You can't get better advertisement, engagement, things like that for $7. I love the targeted people that are getting these right now. So
I agree, and that says a lot. Now we only have really a sample of a couple. Like we know, I'm sorry, I keep forgetting that woman's name, but the woman who posted it publicly, we know Gabriel Haynes. I mean, how many people are not posting it? I think Crypto Coffee the other day was talking about a whale that he knows that received one or something. Yeah, there are interesting, notable crypto people getting them, and I love that Gabriel Haynes got one because it just he's creates viral content and good to have that out there, regardless of what he's saying. I mean, I think we're all leaning into the scam thing at this point. Like many people just like even RH Max, like when he came into the chat tonight saying like, oh, these guys again talking about PulseChain still.
Yeah.
People are leaning into that idea of like scammed by RH again. I mean, at this point, it's its own meme and a good one, I think, because all the scams that are in crypto, like the biggest scams that you can think of, have all come from guys that are in suits, that have a startup, that have a company, and dress themselves up like legacy finance, like there's a real product to be offered. That's usually where the scams come from, and something that's not actually crypto, where there is a middleman, there's a platform where you have to put your money on to get something back.
Sure.
And that's
something else that I'm noticing too is I love the attitude that the Hexicans are portraying, right? Everyone's being very respectable and joking and very welcoming. It's definitely a change to see that everybody's kind of just joking along or whatever. You know, it used to be not long ago when things were really, really bad. Anybody that said scam, it was like vicious dogs being let loose on people, and they were just attacking, and it got kind of nasty. So I'm liking the responses that I see now. And it's more of a jovial, kind of friendly demeanor now, rather than just, yeah, you're calling it a scam. We're going to play along with this now and just get the engagement up, right? Do you agree? I mean, can you see what I'm saying about how the attitudes of people have completely changed? So that's what I'm impressed by.
And I think this is a good point by Rocket Mob right here. He says Gabriel is similar to who? I'm sorry, who is Xavier or Xavier? Do you know who that is?
Yeah, he's just here. I think he even was in the comments, but
oh, my bad. Okay, well, don't worry. But anyway, I just want to express his point. And Shill Gates coming into the talking about RH coins and more will come. It's fantastic. Yeah, like we've had Tiger Crypto God or whatever. How many people used to kind of pan the ecosystem or make fun of Richard Hart or whatever, and now are into it? You know what I mean? So, yeah, you could see Gabe doing that. And I think if we start to take off and things like that, yeah, he'll be like, hey, I need to go buy the top of those tablets back now off who we sold them to. So,
yeah.
Speaking of which, yeah, do you want to go ahead and get to the video from today? So there's a development the very next day, which is awesome.
Oh, wait, hang on. Xavier is the Indian guy that has all the tacky gold all over his icon. That's right.
Yeah, I see him on Twitter. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. I gotcha.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
He has 450,000 followers.
Yeah, I have no. That one was out of left field, I think, for you and me. I didn't know where he came from, but he's been posting about it all the time now. So pretty interesting. Let's go to the development then with Gabriel from today. So we get a twofer for this one here. We get 2 engagement tweets for this. And yeah, he's a content machine, so why not? And he started to get DM'd by some hexishins, as he says. And somebody wants to buy it, and he ends up wanting to sell them both to him for a total of $150, which is pretty interesting. And they do a meetup if you want to go to that post, E-Walk.
Well, so where did it go? There was the unedited one. What happened to that? Oh yeah, this is the complete unedited one. So
yeah, it's like 2 minutes.
Yeah, we'll watch this one.
I don't think you're sharing that screen though. I don't see. Okay, there you go. How long is this?
So yesterday I got an offer
2 minutes
from a hexician to purchase these 2 tablets that I received in the mail. And today I will be selling these tablets for $150 to this man. How's it going? It's not every day you get to meet your exit liquidity, but today is that day. I get to look in the eye of the man who buys the scam tablets. Nice to meet you. Tio, pleasure. Nice to meet you. You want to see the merch over here?
Sir, absolutely.
You got to inspect, make sure that it's all in order. Right? Where's it going?
Right next to my Richard Hart shrine.
You have a shrine?
Of course.
Check it out. Make sure it's all there. Make sure all the oh, it even comes with a sticker. I didn't even see that. I include that one for you. Look at this.
Yes, sir. Right next to my Red Bull cans.
Let's freaking go.
You don't understand that.
I don't understand anything, man. I don't understand why you would buy that for $150.
Because what you don't understand about us Richard Hart maxis is that we have a fetish for getting scammed. We love to beat exit liquidity.
That's awesome. All right, well, 150. Let's see it. 150. Let me count it out.
Let's count it out.
1, 2,
last 150 3. I have. The rest of it's in the ecosystem.
$100. 150.
The rest of it is 99% down. But we love it. Thank you, brother.
$50 to charity as well.
I got you.
You promise?
Yeah, I got you.
Where
I'll show it
you
to you.
doing?
I'm not sure yet, but I'll send it to you.
Okay, man.
All right? Thank you, man.
Go
Appreciate
for
it.
real. Hey, enjoy it.
Thank you. I will.
I think
I will.
if you're willing to pay this for that, I want you
I
to
think
have
you're gonna see this again.
I'm gonna see it.
I think so.
We're gonna see it online.
No, you're gonna see it again. You'll see it.
You got a plan.
I got something going on.
You're a legend, bro.
Awesome.
There you go.
Awesome. Crazy that he was actually filming. I mean, I guess he could have always not posted it, but he was just filming. I didn't know if the guy wanted to be doxxed or not, like by showing his face. But yeah, he's just filming as he pulls up next to him. I mean, this is just awesome. Yeah. Free marketing indeed. Yeah, who bought it? I don't know who that was. I think he shows in some other video like a quick exchange of their message, but I'm not sure who it was. But shout out to shout out to whoever that is. Very cool, and cool of Gabriel to again record the whole thing. What are your thoughts, Ewok?
Well, I don't know if it was the same one from that guy, but then did you not see the eBay? Are you the one that sent that
to you
earlier?
Yeah, that's totally different. So I don't know who this is, but yes, there is one of the tablets is listed on eBay, and I sent you. Somebody posted the actual link to the listing, not just a screenshot, so we can check and see if the bid has gone up any. But at last check pre-show,
it was $540 or something like that.
I think it was 510. Yeah, if you want to pull that up. Yeah, it's
you want to
5.
Send me the link.
I did send it to you.
The link.
It's in the tweet. Like on the post, he links the eBay link. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have just the link on my own. Oh, wait, is this you, Astro? Wait a minute. Are you the one that did it? Am I missing something here? I haven't been looking at chat.
That almost looks like him.
Yeah, I think it is him. If this is you, dude, shout out to you. This is freaking awesome. And I think we're pulling up the one you have listed on eBay right now. If it's 565, then that's probably it. There you go. Yeah, so the link is right there. Yep. Yeah, Astro, there you go. 565.55. Yeah, you look like the man in the video. So, dude, shout out to you for hooking this up. And Astro, I'm curious, have you followed Gabriel for a long time? Because just a hilarious dude. And it's awesome that you guys got to meet up. So this thing is at 565. This is on eBay. These are bids, and there's 4 days still left. So it's probably only run for about half the time it's going to be listed on there. So Gabe got kind of ripped off, actually, here, by the looks of it.
Yeah, it ends in 4 days, though. So we got 4 days, 18 hours is what is left.
Yeah. Yeah, this is amazing. And we've got him here in the chat. So awesome to see you here. I mean, and think about this. I know this is silly and stuff, but I made the point to you. We know what the community is here, and we've seen it over the last few years. Like, if these tablets are going for this right now, you know, that there are people out there, like if somebody has one and they're offering it up, you know, that people are bidding on them and they're going as high as that amount. I mean, what could we expect to see? I mean, with this ecosystem, I just think that the fact that demand is there, whether it's kind of, you know, half a joke or not, they want to buy the marketing stuff, you know.
I saw Nuclear Herbs offer that lady $1,000. Somebody else offered her to Hex Deck, I think, offered her $2,000 for the one that she was originally putting online. So, you know, if anything, collector's items. You know, I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of them that are sent out there, and once they dilute the market a little bit, maybe a wise time to look for them then. But yeah, I mean, I think Astro got a great deal, $150 for two of them. He can sell the one and keep the other one, and make, you know, he's already made 3 times as money, 4 times as money, so he's damn close to it anyway.
Just the fact that energy is out there is what's amazing to me. You know, these are not expensive devices. That's the whole point of why they were chosen to be mailed out to begin with, you
Yep.
know.
Yep.
And the fact that these people are out here doing this, freaking awesome. Yeah. Any final thoughts on any of that, Ewok?
Just goes to show you how devoted the hexagons are. I mean, anything that's got hex on it becomes a collector's item. You know, from the hex watches to the pins and the necklaces and all the gear to it's fantastic. I love it. I love this community. I really do.
Yeah, I think being here for a while, it's hard to not love it eventually, especially when you see that IRL stuff like this. I mean, it's very, very cool. In addition to this, did you want to put up real quick it's RS Griffin or whatever the post
Absolutely.
you sent me today? Yeah.
I did I wanted to bring this to people's attention and kind of get it out there. So it says we're trying to fill 15 volunteer spots daily, nearly 24/7 for the next 3 months. We provide meals, snacks, and positive vibes. It's really an amazing place to be, to see, and be a major part of everything going on. Things you don't see, the time, energy our team puts in, the connections and conversations our volunteers have, the emails that we get from people wondering about the tablet. Remember, most of these recipients are not on X. They are making a larger impact than you can see right now, and we've only got a fraction of them out the door. The more volunteers, the quicker they go. So if any of you are in the Murrieta, California area and can devote some time to this, what better? Again, the hexagons are great people to be around when you meet them in real life. Just genuine people, good people. I've been around many of them in person in Vegas when we had the conference, and on the cruise when we were on the cruise. Just good people. So yeah, if you have the time, I wanted to get this out to people to offer to at least help volunteer your time and get these out to as many people as we can. It'll only help your own bags. So
yeah, amazing what these guys are doing. Awesome to see them step up and be doing all these things, boots on the ground, and yeah, just fantastic. So I mean, RH has kind of called it. I mean, he said 3 months ago that he had heard of this mass marketing campaign that may or may not be coming, and here it is, and we're starting to see the beginning little fruits of that labor right now. So yeah, very cool to see. If you guys are here and enjoying the stream, do us a favor and hit the like. We appreciate all of you being here. Astro, a welcome honorary guest tonight, so thank him for showing up, the guy in the video of the Gabriel Haynes post there. So we honestly didn't have much else to get to other than I don't know why I forgot about this. Let's actually look at the launch of Hyperlane here, if you want to use the Hex Scout post. And Richard did actually also post about this when it came to, and I didn't even know this. You and I were talking about this off air. I didn't know that there was some issue. Maybe it's just with specific wallets. I'm not sure, but that wallets were not connecting to the PulseChain native bridge correctly or something. I hadn't tried to since last week, but Richard posted that today and provided the alternatives of Liberty Swap. Also mentioned this Hyperlane, which is just launching now. So I can kind of read through this. Hex Scout provided us an update, and this is brand new. Like, I don't even know if the liquidity is there yet. So yeah, this was posted.
Just for the record, we don't know much about this. Just because Richard mentioned it doesn't mean he fully endorses it. So again, any bridge, just use your best judgment. I would break transactions up into smaller ones so that if something does happen, you're not losing your whole bag. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah. And remember, you've also got like 0x Coast out there you could do things through. I mean, there's many avenues that you could go, and we use them all. So Hex Scout says breaking Hyperlane is live on PulseChain. Now, Hyperlane was already active on Ethereum, I believe, correct?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah. So it's already been around for a while, but it says this is the DeFi evolutionary leap. This is all typed wrong. That the Richard Hart built ecosystem has been waiting for. Now it's up to the ecosystem. Where will the USDC liquidity be deployed? Our clear recommendation is into the stable pool on PulseX, 1-to-1 backed bridged USDC from all partner chains, maximum stability through the stable pool mechanism, perfectly suited for this purpose. PulseX rewards, the PulseX buy and burn, a solid foundation for institutional whale liquidity. Technical detail, the new USDC contract on a Pulse chain, and then they give that contract address below. Regardless of the source chain, all USDC converge into this single address. It's interesting. Why Hyperlane is a game changer for PulseChain. Value for the ecosystem. Permissionless, limit-free, fee-free, seconds fast. Already 500K, 1,000 plus, kind of redundant with what I said, but monthly active users, 10 billion plus transferred. Nexus.hyperlane.xyz. I think that must be the native site. 5 years flawless track record. So 5 years. I didn't know it was that long. Starting integrations, Ethereum, Base, Arbitrum, Polygon, constantly expanding. Independent side route alongside the Chamber Bridge. On top, first 5-minute US fiat on ramp into Pulse, Hex, PulseX, and EUSDC. What is Hyperlane? How long is this post? Just real quick. Okay. Yeah, I'll be able to. Okay. Hyperlane is far more than a bridge, silly. It's permissionless cross-chain middleware with no central intermediaries, no limits, no downtime, even if the PulseChain bridge pauses under heavy load. I know something about a heavy load. Open source, audited multiple times, operating nearly 5 years without a single incident. It channels capital from 130 plus chains directly into PulseChain. And then they give the website again. And unlocks new opportunities for developers, fiat ramps, multi-chain wallets, automated DeFi flows, cross-chain governance. Our call regarding liquidity. Please integrate this USDC contract into the PulseX stable pools. That's how we build the strongest and most sustainable liquidity structure for PulseChain. If this does not happen within 48 hours, sounds like a ransom note now, we'll have to start on Fox. But PulseX is the perfect home. Go interchain with Hyperlane. Go future with PulseChain. Next step towards the Hyperlane finale. Deploy the polls again. Yeah. Ramp now. US fiat on ramp launch this week. So this is really exciting sounding. Another way to get into the ecosystem that is well established. You know, a lot of the maybe naysayers or people nervous about using Liberty Swap because it's been a new mechanism. I mean, this has been around now for 5 years, if that floats your boat. And in a moment, if you want, we can check out the website too. But what do you make initially about the posts, some of the ideas that Hex Scout narrates on their own too? What do you think overall about this?
Well, no, any way into PulseChain is bullish. You know, again, I don't know anything about them. I've never heard of them. I've never used them. So I don't know much about it. I'm just impressed with, you know, they do have, it says 5-year flawless track record. I don't know anything positive. I don't know anything negative either. So I'm just not sure. But when you see that they've already been on Ethereum base, Arbitrum, Polygon, you know, with 5-year track record, that sounds good, right? So you start there, and again, any new way or bridge or any path to PulseChain has to be beneficial. I don't know if they got their pool set up or whatever. When was this post made? This was
like yesterday, I think. Maybe 2 days.
Yesterday morning. So I don't know. And you know, it will take some time to catch up. I think, obviously, as with anything, they need some good marketing behind it. I don't know remember in the beginning when Liberty Swap came, you know, to light, their marketing was fantastic. They were always posting. They were there with the memes and the pictures and the cool, you know, just it was good. It was very good, and it caught your eye and got your attention. So just a little word of advice to them is they need somebody that's out there pushing for that, reminding people that it's there, to get the word out. So yeah, I'm excited. There's more and more ways coming every day to get people onboarded into PulseChain. Now is the perfect time. Make it as easy as possible for when retail finally does start showing up. So yeah, this is good.
Do you want to click on the link for their site? I'm just kind of curious what it looks like. I haven't looked at that yet.
Sure, I'll get the virus. Not a problem.
Yeah,
Um,
especially
I'm-
since it's just a Twitter post. Yeah, I guess now that I'm asking you to do that live, I guess I understand that. I'm as paranoid as you are about stuff like that, but
That's all right. We'll see if it loads. My
drain your wallet.
yeah. Well, this is obviously I don't smarter than to use my computer, my crypto computer to stream on.
Yeah.
It's not loading. I'm just getting a. And
see.
it's possible that my Chrome doesn't like it
Blocks
because
it or something. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
it's possible. I'm not saying it doesn't load, but here, let me check it on a different browser real quick. You can go ahead and chat if you want.
Yeah. Sorry, just looking at the chat. Yeah, but
Yeah.
anytime we can get another way to get quickly into the ecosystem, and again, I agree with what you said, Ewok. I would never just go full port into anything like this and be like, okay, I'm just going to start onboarding all my spare cash into something like this right away. I've actually still yet to even use Liberty Swap. I just haven't really felt the need to do that.
Right.
And maybe I will someday, but I haven't yet.
Yeah, it loads perfectly on another browser.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's my Chrome that's not liking it. There
What's the
are
nexus.hyperlane.xyz.
Yep.
I'm just curious about it. Nexus.hyperlane.xyz. Yeah, taking a while to load for me, but I think it is loading. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it essentially looks like a front end for
a front end for a swap. Anything crypto.
Nothing you haven't seen before, which is good. Let me see if is PulseChain on the drop down here then? Yep, there it is.
Yep.
Huh. Awesome. Okay. So does it only go? Oh, no. Whoa. Okay. So I thought it was maybe just going Ethereum to PulseChain. I think you can go.
You can go base. You can go. So
Arbitrum. Yep. Polygon. I think that's it. Okay. That's what they said in the post. Okay. It's those four. Those four are the ones you can get to PulseChain on.
Yeah.
So awesome. And he said fee free.
That's what they said.
Huh. Interesting. I wonder if it's actually hidden fee, like many do, because if you're it is USDC though. So I mean, if you receive USDC on the other side and it's the same amount, then I guess you're good. So,
and I think that's what a lot of these guys are doing. And I don't know how this one is set up. We've discussed before how Liberty Swap works. They keep liquidity on both sides. When you swap it over, it just transfers the liquidity, and then they will eventually bridge it back to balance things out. So they're holding liquidity on all sides, no matter what chain it's going to or coming from, so that it's easily and quickly transferred to your wallet. So that's what speeds it up. They do take a small fee, and then probably bridge a lot all at once to rebalance back out. They must have some sort of mechanism to help do that automatically. That would be a full-time job, I believe, if you had to do it manually. So, yeah, I'm not sure if this is set up in a similar way, if this is a different bridge. Again, I don't know enough about it. I will try and do some more research on it. We can possibly circle back next week, as long as there's no, anything bad that happens with it in the meantime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks very cool. And actually, this URL is actually new for them by the looks of it, because when you open this site, it says on Saturday, August 30th, Nexus will move to nexus.hyperlane.xyz. So this must have just actually changed. Yeah.
As of August 30th. Yeah. So this is pretty new.
Yeah. I'm highly intrigued. Yeah, another way to get over with 4 chains of support that are all pretty cheap fee wise on their own anyway. But Yeah, very cool. Because if you use the PulseChain bridge, you are going to be paying an ETH gas fee, which so far, I mean, Gwei has been so low for so long that I've literally bridged over for like a quarter, whereas we've had to pay 15. I think when PulseChain launched, I had to pay 10, $15 a few different times with where Ethereum Gwei was. Then, of course, you get Coast, and that's another way to onboard. I would recommend, of course, having an Old Glory bank account, like we've talked about. And there can be issues there too. Like, right now they're working on their Tide mechanism to make it so that the CST stablecoin is actually pegged to $1 and make other things easy within their ecosystem. And then, I love Coast, but also their buy mechanism, there is a fee in there. You're probably paying a 1.5% fee with their buy mechanism if you would compare what you would swap like USDC to Pulse on Piteus, and then look at the same amount when you're using the buy function on Coast. You aren't getting the same amount. It's not like you're getting completely gouged, but
yeah,
it is there.
It's not near as bad as like GoPulse was. They were taking 3.5-4%. So
right.
But it's there. It is there. And again, I don't mind if people are taking a percent or two, whatever. They're a company. They put money in, they put investments, time that they deserve to make a little bit of money providing a service. So again, I've never had a problem with anybody creating a new way into the chain and making some. So, that is something you have to compare with and find your best way, find the one you like the best, and use it. But I would get used to using others as well, so that if one is down, you have a backup plan, when before the time comes when you really need to use it, and you're in a hurry and things aren't working properly, or you've never used it before and you're trying for the first time. It's always good to familiarize yourself with the things, multiple ways in and out, multiple ways to swap, multiple, just different, try them. It's not going to hurt anything to try them, and use a fresh wallet, something you've never used before. That way you're not compromising or making a mistake, that when you click the wrong button or Google a link, for God's sakes, that your wallet gets strained. Use a fresh wallet and play with some of these things so you're familiar with them. When the time comes, you know how to use them.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. But this is very exciting. It looks good. But yeah, and you should be aware, like, I'm with you as far as like any new mechanism, you're providing a service. If you want to make a fee off of it, that's good. I just wish all of them were disclosed.
Yes, I agree.
And I get it. Maybe sometimes with the buy mechanism on Coast, maybe I think it probably does vary a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a static 1.5%. I've just calculated that roughly myself whenever I've noticed it. And that's versus the Piteus aggregator, which is also getting the best price for you possible. So maybe it's an unfair comparison, but just, something to be aware of when you do these things. And look, there's trade-offs too. We've talked about this many times. Maybe that is the truth with Coast, but also I feel pretty safe with Coast, compared to other mechanisms. Like, you have your bank there, Old Glory Bank, and you deposited right from the bank onto Coast, so your bank is linked to it. It's, so there's just trade-offs, however you want to do it. You know what I mean?
Yep, absolutely.
Cool.
Good morning from the other side of the world.
Crypto Stylist, good morning to you. Good evening from us, anyway. Good to see you here. And yeah, I think that pretty much finishes off the Hyperlane topic. Very good stuff. Is there anything you want to finish on tonight, Ewok? We have probably 10 minutes or so we could talk or see any comments that people want to talk about.
Yeah, if anybody wants to bring up any questions, I don't know that I have anything else that there isn't. Again, I've been kind of out of the loop a little bit on purpose, a little bit because of work, but I'm just enjoying the time away from it, and just knowing things are coming. Been around a couple cycles now. We know it's due to happen, and I'm enjoying just kind of staying away and waiting. So but we can answer questions if people have them. If not, we can end a few minutes early. I know Crypto Stylist probably just got here. And sorry, but
Yeah. Digital Money Markets just got here too. Yep, we talked about that at the top of the show. So feeling bullish about the rate cut, of course. And yeah, I think what you just said, Ewok, just the idea, I know you've been genuinely busy, but just the idea of trying to not have all your attention go to Twitter, X, social media, especially with some of the things that have been going on over the last few weeks, I think
yeah,
that is for the better. And I think, it's one of those things where I understand you want to be aware of what's going on in the world, and that's definitely valid. But something like what happened last week, that is a tragedy, happens, and you want to be aware of it, and you want to maybe support whoever there is that you can support and stuff like that. But then immediately, from both sides of the political aisle, you get absolutely destroyed over the head with this narrative and that narrative immediately. And out of nowhere, it's, again, I heard somebody say today, like, the guy's body isn't even in the ground yet, and it's just people mudslinging back and forth. And it seems like what happened, what we literally witnessed, unfortunately, on video, a lot of people, is already an afterthought, and it's a lot of gross behavior. I mean, I will say from all sides. I know there's a particular side that is saying, unconscionable things that I could never even imagine saying about anyone dying. But I think the constant, I personally don't want to hear the constant politicalization about all of this stuff. You know what I mean? And I think the powers that be, that we all need to realize, want us to continue fighting with each other, whatever the topic is,
yeah.
whether it's abortion, pick your issue. I don't care. Gun rights, immigration, whatever it is, as long as we are fighting, they are continuing to enrich themselves,
Yep.
and we are asleep at the wheel while they do so.
Yeah. Well, I think what the government is most afraid of is everybody coming together and unifying. But if they can keep the black, white, they can keep the gay and the straight, and they can keep the anti-immigration and everybody, Democrats and Republicans. There are so many one side or this side, and you can't be in the middle, kind of thing. That's their goal, and the media is at fault, I think, the most for all of this, because it is their job to divide the people, so that people don't come together and realize that they lie to us all the time, which is we shouldn't trust them. As much as we've been lied to about so many things from back in the 60s the whole way till now. There are so many things out there that have happened that we don't know the full story. Now, there are many ideas, and it all starts as conspiracy theory. Many of those conspiracy theories have been pretty much proven right. So again, we're being fed half-truths. There are certain countries, I believe, that are behind a lot of things that are in the background that have a lot to do with the things that we're seeing. And they're the real puppet masters here, I believe. So without going any further into that, just, be kind to each other. That's the best thing. Whether you agree with them or not, people need to understand that we're going to disagree on things. Doesn't mean we can't be friends. So.
Hey, this is a shocker to me, and he's right. Multiple people Jimmy Kimmel fired. That is confirmed true. I just Googled that within the last hour. That's about 15 years overdue, if you ask me. But the guy who was on the Man Show with Adam Carolla and now suddenly is a bastion of class, apparently. I don't know what he said. Jesus. I'll have to check this out when we get off the air tonight.
It was about Charlie. So I know
that. But yeah. They said suspends the show indefinitely. Wowzer.
Well, they've just recently put an end to Colbert as well, the Late Show. This last season. I mean, they didn't just pull the plug, but this last season. So,
I think it's because the show sucks, basically.
Well, that too.
Yeah. Very interesting. I'll have to check out the Jimmy Kimmel thing. But the key is, too many people are way too wrapped up in this stuff. And, we obviously get there too sometimes, but the moment that I started to feel like I was way too wrapped up in it and all the things coming out afterwards, it's just like, you can't live in this, because I think this is why, not that we're all going to do what happened last week, but I mean, the more that we're all wrapped up in this stuff so fervently and acting as if it's real life when it's words on a literal black fucking screen that we're holding in our hands, I mean, we're really looking at a black screen all day. Like, there's nothing actually there. It's just unreal what happens to us all. So, when we're all in line at the grocery store or seeing each other in public, nobody would act the way that the people act to each other online,
Yep.
So,
and yeah, people need to be held accountable for their actions. And that includes, freedom of speech is one thing, but hate speech is another. And yeah, I'm glad, again, people are being held accountable for what they're saying and doing. So
Rolando made the perfect point here, and this is 100% it. And to me, it does all lead back to crypto again too. Like, this is the great unifier in a way that we can all hopefully enrich our lives so we can make more of an impact on the world in the ways that we think are most valuable. And it's the best silent protest that's out there, instead of trying to go out and sway somebody's opinion that you're never going to sway, and they're just kind of stuck in their ways. We can just not vote for these people by not giving them our hard-earned money, and luckily all of us here tonight get to gather each week and not give these people our money, and not give them our vote in that way. So,
yep. Amen.
Well said. All right. Well, hey, love all of you guys. This was a fantastic show. Appreciate all of you guys being here tonight. Just live, Philly, DJ Moonboy, Rolando. Obviously, I named all the Hex content creators earlier. Thank you guys for being here. Rocket Mob. Just so many tonight. Hex Girl. I saw Hex Michelle. Tam was here earlier. Yellowtail. Thank you all for being here. We do this every Wednesday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So have a great week. We will be back here again next week. We'll see how September ends over the next couple of weeks. So love you guys. And for Crypto Ewok, this has been Broke Boy Crypto right here on the Creed of Crypto.